Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to Monday Night Live for January 11th. Super excited about tonight. It's kind of a part two of the 101 training that we started last week. And I still need to upload the recording to that 101 training, so it's on the list. I've honestly been avoiding it because it takes forever and it ties up my computer. So just being honest, but I will get that done this week so that you guys can listen to that if you missed it, and so that you can share it with your team members as well and going forward. Okay, so tonight is Plexus 102 training. So it's that part two, and this is Caroline French, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I am recording this so that we can share it later. So hopefully that is going well. And we're going to go ahead and dive in. And I do have, kind of a presentation of things to walk through. But I also, I'm hoping that we'll have some discussions at the end too. So I kind of want to zip through a couple of things are going to overlap a little bit from last week. Repetition's good. So I think there's just a couple little areas that overlap, and then some new things too that we'll talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay, awesome. Okay, so really what I want to go over tonight this is the part two of the 101 training. So this is 102, and in 101 we went through back office tutorial, just a quick tutorial over the main things that a brand new ambassador would need to know how to do in their back office. We also went through the compensation plan. It was very quick, but we did go through all 11 components of our compensation plan. So I hope that was helpful for you all who are learning, doing the train the trainer, and also for those of you who are new or newer who had not yet gone through that training with me before. And then we also went into some basics on how to get started. So this is kind of on the back side. There were some things that we didn't get to in the 101 that I've included in tonight's 102 training, and then some additional things that were outside of that. So the first thing that I think is really good for everyone to have an understanding of is a little bit about our company history and kind of where we've been and where we are and where we're going. Okay, so it's really, a lot of people don't know this when they join as an ambassador. I sure didn't. But Plexus actually began in 2005 as a breast health company. There was one product, and that was the breast check kit. That was the first and only product. And it wasn't until 2009 that Plexus Slim was launched, and the business side that we know it today. It actually was a network marketing business before, believe it or not, just with that one breast check kit. But the company had different owners, and the compensation plan was completely different. And as you can see there, it's a phenomenal product, the breast check kit. I am super proud that that's how our company began, and that's what the health focus began with. But as you can see, that's not a consumable product. So you could see that would be like a one-time sale, pretty much. So that, and then coupled with adding the Slim, and we had new owners. We had Carl, Alec, and Alfred, who came together to become the owners and executives of what we know Plexus to be today. And so they launched Plexus Slim in the whole new compensation plan, and boom, here we are. So 2011, they found that, hey, Plexus Slim was working just beautifully for so many people and helping with so many things that they introduced the accelerator to increase the success rate of the Slim. So introduced that as a companion product to the Plexus Slim. In 2012, Plexus launched the fast relief products. Those are now called Ease and Ease Nerve Health. And so they launched that whole line of pain relief and nerve health support products in 2012. So kind of adding to those products. And I think somewhere in between there, the ProBio 5 and BioCleanse came out as well. In 2013, the X Factor was introduced. And another product that was around near the beginning was a breast cream. It was called Dr. Spencer's Breast Cream. So if you ever come across any old materials that say that, that's what it is. But basically, it was a cream to detoxify the breast tissue. Again, Plexus started as a breast health company. But what they found and what women were doing was they found other uses for this cream. And they figured out if they used it on other parts of their body, that it was helping with all sorts of things. And so the company repackaged and relaunched it as a body cream. And then today, if you haven't seen yet in your email, it has been repackaged once again. It has a brand new, beautiful look, and sample packs are also available so that you can get those and you can give people like a little sample to try for a day or two of the body cream. So it's fabulous. In 2014, our Boost product came out along with X Factor Family Chewables and the Block. So 3 products came out in 2014. It was awesome. Boost is another companion product to the Slim to enhance that. X Factor Chewables children's version, that is our only product that is marketed for children. So all other products are marketed for adults 18 years and up, and that is the only one that is dosed and marketed for children, as well as the whole family. And then our Block, of course, as another companion product to the Slim, or even by itself, to help with those blood sugar levels and weight loss goals. And then in 2015, last year, we had Mega X come out, which is our complete omega product that is plant-based, that is wonderful. So a little bit of where we've been and where we are now. We are a debt-free company. We had our very first $2 million day back in October 2013, which is pretty huge for a budding company. By the end of that year, we had achieved over $160 million in sales. We are projected to be a billion-dollar company in less than 10 years, you guys, in existence. And the comparison to that is to look at other huge direct sales or network marketing companies. The household names like Avon, Mary Kay, it took them decades to reach that level in sales. And so we are going to be there in less than 10 years' time. And so that is pretty darn amazing. We did think that we might reach it in 2015. We still haven't reached that billion-dollar company status yet, but I don't think that's too far off. So it is very exciting. And the reason, we'll get into that. But some other things that Plexus has been highlighted for, and I need to add some most recent things to here, that as you can see here, we have been highlighted in a lot of third-party resources. We were featured in Success from Home magazine, where they feature network marketing companies. The whole issue was about Plexus, you guys. Amazing. We've had, over 16,000% growth over a three-year period. Amazing. That just shows you how fast we are growing. And our annual revenue sales, you can see there, we just talked about that. We've been featured in Direct Selling News. And again, we're a financially free company. And why that's important is because most network marketing companies, they have investors. Okay, they have a board of investors, they make decisions, they're putting in their money, so of course they have a say-so. And we are privately held and we're financially free. We don't have investors. We don't have other people telling our executives things that have to be done, meaning changes to the compensation plan, or other products that they want to see, or anything like that. So everything comes down from our executives and all of the teams underneath there for the field. And so they make decisions for us, and that is a beautiful thing, versus having investors involved. So, and also why it's important that we are financially free. In addition, in comparison to other network marketing companies, is many other network marketing companies will start and they may take off really fast quickly, but they lease office space. And, and therefore if they fold or whatever, well, they just leave. We are about to have a grand opening on a 75,000 square foot building that is owned by Plexus. We are financially free. We have no debt, except when they broke ground on this, they did take on a note on this brand new building because that's being fiscally responsible. They did have the money in the bank to pay for that outright, but again, it's not wise to use up that much cash reserve. So that is the only debt that Plexus has is on this building. So that is a huge thing for our company. All this stuff makes us the opportunity of a lifetime. It is because of our products. It is because of the testimonies of what the products are doing in people's lives every single day of why our company has grown leaps and bounds. You know, I've seen some things going around, some people posting like, you know, people ask me, why isn't this on the shelf at Walmart, or why isn't this on the shelf at GNC or Whole Foods? Have you seen the shelves at GNC or even the weight loss or supplement section in Walmart? It's a little overwhelming, and it would be lost on the shelf there. And Plexus made the decision that they were going to go the network marketing route. They didn't want to pay people to represent the company like actors and stars. They wanted real everyday life people using the product, sharing their experience, sharing it with others, and then in turn helping others. So when you have network marketing, you have the distributor or the consultant or ambassador. That's what we call ourselves. And when we share that and when we sell that to someone, we are their coach. We are their support. We are there to help them with their products and help them reach their goals. And you don't have that if you're just going and buying it off the shelf in the stores. That's really important. And all this makes us the opportunity of a lifetime. We are all still in it from the ground floor, which is amazing. And every time I read or think about that, it amazes me. So the health and wealth testimonies are amazing. So not only are the products changing people's health every single day, but the financial side, the business side, is changing people's lives. So health and wealth, the two things that can shackle anyone. And so Plexus is the tool to change that for every single family across America and in other countries now too. So, and it is very realistic to be able to make a nice income with Plexus. So we did go through the compensation plan already. We're not going to go through it tonight. So if you need to know, have a refresher on that and know what's possible at each level, then please review that information. So we went through this last week, but I want to touch on it briefly. How do you get started? Well, to get started, so first of all, you've got to know that you are a business owner. I know that there are many types of ambassadors. There are people that join for wholesale. There are people that join to earn a little bit, maybe to earn the cost of their products, or people that join for a career or full income replacement. Whatever it is, there's all different kind of types of ambassadors. But all of those are great in Plexus. We have that ability to make it what we want it to be. But we are business owners. Whether we want to run it as a business or not is up to us. So in order for anyone to know that we have a business, we have to open our doors and we have to share that with other people. So it's super important that people know that you are a Plexus ambassador, that people know that you are their person when they are ready to try this, that people know that they can come to you with questions and get information from you. And one of the best ways to do that is to launch your business on Facebook and to begin sharing that. So, you know, I kind of gave this analogy last week. Have you ever been by a business that had really weird hours? Like you went by, you know, on a Tuesday afternoon, they were already closed, not open, you know, just really odd. Every time you go, it's like, gosh, I just can't seem to get there when they're open. Your business is like that. If you are only open sometimes, then you're not going to have consistent traffic. You're not going to have consistency out there where your family and friends know that you are the Plexus expert in their world, that they can come to you. So it's important to make sure that your doors open and that they stay open. One of the ways that we do this is on Facebook by having a constant drip campaign about Plexus and sharing with other people so that it stays in their mind, so they continue to know and see that you are open for business and that you are the Plexus person. All right, also, how do you start? Set a game plan with your upline. I'm not going to go through all of these since we went through this last week, but that is the first thing, is to get a plan. You can't get somewhere if you don't know where you're going and how you're going to get there. So you've got to have a plan, and you want to start with your upline and sponsor for that. Okay, so let's talk about sharing. Sharing 101. This is through Facebook primarily. There are other social mediums that you can use. Instagram, Pinterest are two other primary ones. And as we heard at the Dallas Super Saturday, Snapchat is the up and coming. And I know it gets a bad rap out there in a lot of different ways, but that was very interesting in me to hear about that. So I'm going to be looking into Snapchat and how I might be able to use that as a new up and coming social media. And it's no longer just going to be for the team using that. So that's good. Business cards are huge. I recommend getting business cards as soon as possible. Order them. We have a company that is partnered with Plexus to provide those promotional materials for us. You can find that in your back office, I believe, on our website. Also, if that's something that you can't afford right away, make them. Okay, but have a business card, have your name on there, have your ambassador ID number, your phone number, your email address, and your website. And also, I recommend having your Facebook account address on there too, so people can connect with you on Facebook. So that is huge. Having some swag, having some Plexus shirts, hats, whatever it may be, to wear around town so that people can ask you about it. That is kind of getting the word out wherever you are. Knowing your why is super important so that you can share your why. That is going to be what resonates with people. And I recommend that you share your reasons why that you're doing Plexus, and there could be many. You're going to have some that are primary, maybe 1, 2, 3 that are primary reasons why you are working this as a business. And I recommend sharing your why and peeks into your why every single month. Because again, people may be seeing your posts, but not everybody's cluing into them. It's going to hit people at different times in their journey. You want to constantly be refreshing that. Even if you feel like a broken record, you can find new and fresh ways to say the same thing and get that message out there. You want to be sharing product info and testimonies of other people and your own experiences as you have those as well. So the more you post, the more you will make. It's a proven factor. It is a proven factor, period. Direct correlation between Plexus posts and your paycheck. So sharing equals money. And so if you are afraid to share, then let's talk about that and figure out how to get you over that hurdle so that you can get into spreading the message to a huge audience of your friends and family on Facebook. And what I love about sharing on Facebook is that it's a really soft way to get information out there. Yeah, you're throwing it out there. You may be scared, but at the same time, people can scroll by if it's not something that they want to read or if it's not something that they're interested in. So it is a very soft way to get information out there to a large audience. So again, as we talked about, Facebook's our primary, but we're seeing some growth in some other areas. So Instagram, Pinterest, and now I'm hearing about Snapchat kind of emerging as a social media. Okay, so be personal. Share your experiences and share others' experience. And make sure you're targeting your market. So if the majority of your market is moms with young kids, then that's what you need to be talking about and sharing about, is stuff that relates to your market. If it is, people that are at retirement age or older, then share information and testimonies pinpointed towards those. You can still share other things because they know other people too. So you want to make sure that you are speaking to the different areas of your market because you want them to see how it can relate to them. And you just want to rotate information between products, info, testimonials, general health information, even non-Plexus specific, maybe like gut health information is really, really good. And people that start following you are going to tie all that together. There are different websites out there that can help you in scheduling posts if you need help. If that is a challenge in getting that consistency out there, there is Buffer app that's available both through the website and through an app on your phone. There's also Tiny Torch, which is just a website. That one has even more abilities through it than Buffer app. Those are two that I know. There's another one called Hootsuite that I've seen people use before. So if that is a struggle for you to get those in during the day when you need them, then get on one of those sites and pre-plan your posts for a couple days, a few days, whatever at a time to kind of help free you up. We always want to make sure that we are copying and pasting information from other people that we want to reuse for ourselves, which is totally okay if it's out there on Facebook lands. We do not want to, so while we're talking about sharing information, I don't want you to confuse that with clicking share on Facebook. Okay, so two different things. When we talk about sharing Plexus, we're talking about selling, but the way we do it is sharing information and not a outright sales approach, so to speak. But when we're talking about Facebook and posting information, we do not want to click the share button. One, you want all your posts to come from you, like you are the owner of that information, so that you will build that trust within your audience and you will brand yourself as the expert to your friends and family. Also, not everybody has their privacy settings set up the same way. So if somebody only has it set up to share with their friends and you click share on it, then one, your audience is going to see a grayed out link that you posted. They won't be able to see it so because they're not friends with that person. So, and you just really want to be careful about that and make sure that you're not clicking share on those Facebook posts. Friend other people on our teams so that you can glean information from them, other testimonies, other good pieces of information you can tweak and for your own personal use so it looks like it's coming from you. So again, you still want to be you, but we have tons of resources to help us so you're not having to go out and research everything in order to have credible information out there. Anytime that you go to any kind of Plexus event, no matter how big or how small, post photos. Even if it is just you at an event, even if only one guest came, post photos of you and whoever else is posting the event with you. And especially any events like Super Saturday, that's huge. To post pictures from that because people are attracted to what's fun. They are attracted to what is this about? Because it seemed like it was just some meeting that they went to, but they look like they're having a lot of fun. So make it look fun. We have to show people what we are about because they won't know unless we show them, unless we share with them. If you ever have any negativity on your page, maybe you have somebody that is maybe kind of a naysayer who may comment on one of your posts, make sure to handle that very professionally. You can always kind of call in reinforcements on our team page or with your upline if you need help. If you need your upline to look at that and maybe comment on there to help support you with that, with a rebuttal, then we are more than happy to do that and to have your back. If it is something that is beyond naysayer, that is really just not nice, then I really recommend that you delete that off your thread and then private message the person and just be super professional and nice and just say, hey, I saw your comments. I understand that not everybody may be interested or on board, but I would appreciate your support of my business or my family. And so, just leave it at that. So, hand in hand with that is make sure that you are having a good posture. You are being positive. Make sure you are not being a negative Nelly on your Facebook page. Because you can be going through and be posting the most awesome Facebook posts about Plexus and the products and how much fun you're having, how awesome this business is, how everybody should jump on board with you. And then you can turn right around and you can ruin all of it with one post that makes people go, well, she's kind of crabby, you know, so really try to keep that under wraps. It doesn't mean that every day is the best day, but there's ways that you can talk to yourself and make sure you kind of keep that drama for the stage and off your Facebook page. Sharing 101, part of marketing is, you know, with the swag, there are some great pieces of swag out there. Take selfies of yourself in some swag, post it. There are some great resources you can look on, and you'll find some on Destination Diamond Dream Team page at the top there. You'll see vendors selling things. Ask around, or you know, search swag or t-shirts on the team pages, and you'll probably find a lot of people are doing this kind of as another side business for Plexus. So they're a small business, may not have their own website, may just have a Facebook page, but you can find a lot of resources. And Etsy is another one where you can search Plexus on there and find some stores on there where they're selling some swag. Your why, and sharing your why, make it fun. These are a couple of examples that I've done in sharing my why. We did a team challenge, I think about a year ago, more than a year ago. Maybe we need to do it again. Writing down why you joined Plexus and what you've experienced so far, your Plexus blessings, and then posting a selfie of you holding that. So that's a great way to share your why, and a different way to share your why. Also, you know, here was another example where I had written a post, a heartfelt post, and had this photo of why I Plexus. So get creative with it. Share personal posts, okay? 3 to 5 times a day, posting on Facebook is what's recommended. Not all of those have to be Plexus. You want your Plexus post to be about 30% of your overall post that you put on Facebook, okay? So I recommend posting at least twice a day about Plexus. So that means you need to slip in some other things there. Frequent times, or times when people hop on most frequently, high peak traffic times for Facebook are going to be in the mornings, lunchtime, and at night. Okay, so people with kids, especially, that's going to be like that 8 to 10 period. And also, anytime that people are in line for carpool, picking up their kids or whatever, in the afternoon, that's a great time where people will sit there and scroll through on their phones while they're waiting. So those are peak times. You want to make sure that you're putting posts out there in or around those times so that the most people are able to see those. And you don't want to be salesy. So think about, if I saw this, would this attract me? Would this draw me in? What I'm seeing right here and what I'm posting. Does it look like I'm being sold to, or does it look like somebody's just sharing great info? So think about that when you post on Facebook. And for non-Plexus posts, you know, keep posting some of the same things that you're doing before, or make efforts to be more inspirational or funny, or pictures of your family or hobbies that you enjoy. Whatever it is, make it personal and make it be you. So here are some examples of personal posts versus standard posts in regards to posting Plexus information. So as you can see here, this is someone who, that's in the top left there with the slim logo that says do something today that your future self will thank you for. That's an example of a standard Plexus post. It's just a graphic, kind of salesy. Nothing wrong with it, but it's a little salesy, okay? How could you make that better? You could do something that's personal. This is actually something that Ellen did when she left her full-time job because of Plexus. She did this awesome graphic that says she's trading this view for this view. You can do something like that. So get creative. Bottom left with the X Factor chewables. Here's a mom who posted a carload full of kids, a photo of them with a bottle of the X Factor chewables in front of it. Boom! Super relatable to people with children versus just posting one of the graphics with kind of one of the sales graphics with the X Factor chewables. So there are ways that we can definitely make them more personal. And that can be a challenge for all of us. There's going to be times where we're doing more standard graphics, but the more you can slip in the personal, the better. So here's some other examples here. This one bottom right is great, showing, and this is a great graphic. crush your sugar cravings with, Probio 5, okay, and even Slim. That's a great graphic. It's pretty. Nothing wrong with it. It's cool that it has the sugar cubes. But look at this one on the left of that, where this girl shows herself stuffing her face with a cupcake and says sugar addict. And then she probably wrote something about how Plexus is crushing that for her. So you can kind of see the difference there on when you make it personal for you. Here's some examples of some non-Plexus posts. These are things that I post personally. So I may take a picture of a dinner that we're making that looks yummy, or a new recipe. I may post something spiritual that I'm learning or thinking about, or a verse that I really like that's meaningful to me. Christmas trees. Oh my gosh, y'all. This Christmas, if you did not post a picture of your Christmas tree, then you missed out on opportunity, because everybody was posting pictures of their Christmas tree. And let me tell you, that is the thing that really draws people in. So I know Christmas is over now, but keep this in mind for next year. But also think of things that could also be the same way now. We're past Christmas, but holidays, any kind of holiday or fun activity that everybody pretty much for the masses is going to be doing, post about that. So you're sharing something personal to you and to your family that draws people in, and you're engaging with your Facebook audience, which is what you want. They're your friends. Here's another photo that's just some progress from our remodeling efforts. So I post those periodically when we have progress. So just keep it real and keep it fun. Share your life with people. You don't have to share all the nitty-gritty, dark, dirty secrets, but be vulnerable. I encourage you, if you have not been vulnerable on Facebook, then I would encourage you to begin opening up and doing that, because you will connect with people. We always feel like we're on an island so many times. We can be in huge organizations or huge groups, part of churches, whatever it is, and whatever we're dealing with or whatever, we feel like we're alone. And what happens when you decide that you are going to be vulnerable and share part of yourself, is people go, well, I've dealt with the same thing. Wow, I've dealt with that before. Or, my goodness, I'm dealing with that now. And you find that you are not alone. That you are not alone. So that's what it can do, is not only connect you with people, but also engage with them too. So it's very powerful. Facebook no-nos. So let's get into this a little bit. We talked about the share button that makes you look unprofessional. So you don't want to do that. When you're using your website link address, if you are using that, only put that in the comments. And only put that in the comments of a post that is not a testimonial. Okay? There is a thing called Facebook jail. It's something that you can get flagged for doing different things kind of repeatedly. You'll get kind of put in a holding place, not able to get into your account for a while. I do know of a couple of people who've been put in that for before. I don't really talk about it a lot, to be really honest, because I think it alarms people, and it's something that you don't need to stress over. What you need to just worry about is how to be the best at sharing on Facebook. And if you focus on getting better and better, then it's going to alleviate some of those problems that might leave you in Facebook jail. Compliance is one of those areas also that we want to talk about. Compliance and Facebook no-nos that we're going to go through. You want to keep it personal. You want to make sure that you are not making health claims. We never want to say that Plexus cures or treats specific conditions. In fact, we cannot mention any kind of diagnosis or condition name in the same post where we are talking and say Plexus or mention a Plexus product. Okay, because that implies that Plexus is going to fix this. Okay, so be really careful about that. Again, you can make general posts where you may talk about some diseases or conditions generally, and then you can have other posts that are specific to products without mentioning those. People will connect the dots. They will ask you. Okay, children. As I mentioned with the chewables are our only product marketed for children. All other products are marketed for adults 18 years old and up. So that means that testimonies about children benefiting from the products and saying, oh, if your kids have ADD or this and this and this, try Probio 5 and Slim. That is not compliant because those products are not marketed for children. So you want to make sure that you are not using testimonies of children or talking about children in your Plexus post. Now, what you can do is say, does anyone have a family member who struggles with ADD or ADHD? Family member. You didn't say child or kid, you said family member. Okay, so that's a big difference there, and that's a workaround. Candida is another one. The FDA now recognizes Candida as a condition, even though it is just a type of yeast. So the workaround for that is saying yeast issues versus having Candida. Okay, super important there. Also, we cannot post any prices of products or even the breakdown of product price per day in our posts on Facebook. Okay, well, of course, we can always message people and break it down for them. We can tell them all day long in private messages or in private pages, but we cannot on open Facebook list dollar amount prices. Also, in the same turn, we can't talk about what our specific paycheck dollar amounts are. That is also not compliant. Okay, and these are not Plexus rules. These are FTC, Federal Trade Commission rules, and network marketing rules. So it goes way beyond what Plexus as a company would recommend, and it goes all the way up to those federal regulations. Okay. Also, make sure that if you're posting graphics that you aren't using trademarks of other companies, other brands. Okay, so if you can see the brand label on something else and you've got Plexus right in there with it, then you want to make sure that you cover up that brand name or use a generic looking one. An example would be a can of soda, a can of Coca-Cola, and having a Plexus on that graphic saying that Plexus Slim has really helped you with your Coca-Cola addiction or Dr. Pepper addiction. That would not be compliant because Coca-Cola is a trademark brand. So what you could do though is use a generic graphic of a can of soda that is not brand specific. That would be a workaround there. Okay. Again, medical conditions. So that would be saying diabetes or diabetic. In turn, you can say blood sugar issues. You can say autoimmune issues versus specific autoimmune diseases, and so forth. All right, so I want to flip through these just very quickly. It's just some examples of compliant versus non-compliant for public posting. So is this compliant? And since we're not in a live training thing here, since we're on Zoom and I've got you muted, I'm just going to kind of go through and kind of point out some things. This is not compliant for many reasons. Most obvious is that it mentions Plexus on here and it says Candida. It mentions lots of different conditions in association with Plexus, and it says, it kind of makes some claims of, yeah, this is, quickly relieves inflammation joints. What we have to remember is that we can't say Plexus does XYZ. What we can say is Plexus might help you. Okay, so we can't make that claim. So this is a non-compliant graphic. It is a little bit out of date because it says fast relief. So this one was before our fast relief was rebranded as Ease. This is, and I hate this, I absolutely love this graphic for Probio 5 because it just wraps up so nicely all the different things that Probio 5 can help with, okay? In fact, I think this is one of the graphics that I saw either when I joined or shortly after that was like, oh, wow, it really was eye-opening, but this is not compliant because here's a bottle of Probio 5 here, and then we have all these different conditions listed, like migraines and allergies, anxiety, and acne. Okay, so that makes that non-compliant. This This is a post that I did where I did a general health post, and I will just tell you that this post was compliant. Okay, I have a graphic here that mentions all sorts of diseases and conditions, but in my post, I talked about gut health generally and how addressing that is key to getting help with these conditions. And even my hashtags were not Plexus specific. They were very general. So this will be an example of how you can do general health posts without mentioning Plexus in there. That way you can get that information out to your audience. And this is another great one, this or that. So the one on the left for sure is not compliant because that is the Starbucks logo on that coffee cup, as well as it has a price here saying that both of these are roughly $3 a day. So that graphic is not compliant. The one on the right is a lot better. You've got a generic cup of coffee here in comparison to the Slim. One thing I would probably change on this, it says only one will help you lose weight. I probably would have put only one might help you lose weight so that you're not making that claim that somebody's automatically going to lose weight on Plexus. Okay? Those would be a couple other examples. And then also, the only price that we can post on Facebook is the $34.95 that it costs to join. So that is the only dollar amount that we are allowed to publicly share is $34.95, or unless corporate has a special promotion. For instance, when they had the 12 days of Christmas and the joining price was only $22.95, we were allowed to say that because it was a corporate promotion. But otherwise, that is the only price that we are allowed to post on Facebook. We aren't even allowed to say the $99 or $199 welcome pack. So keep that in mind. $34.95 is good. Everything else, not good. And as far as compensation, we talked about how you cannot talk about what you're making or what other people are making specifically in specific dollar terms. The only thing that we're allowed to post that gives specific averages is this graphic on the right here that gives the annual ambassador income by level. The one on the left is not compliant. Now the information was taking the annual from the Plexus corporate graphic and breaking it down per month, but that is not compliant. The one on the right showing the annual ambassador income, that is the only one that we can post the exact dollar amount as to earnings. Okay, let me check our time here. Okay. All right, so going through, what do you say? This is always the most nerve-wracking for newer ambassadors is, oh my gosh, okay, so I'm getting out there and I'm sharing, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to say if somebody asks me about it. In fact, I'm almost praying that no one will because I don't know what I'm going to say. But when someone asks you, okay, so tell me about this Plexus, and I get messages like that, like, okay, tell me about this Plexus stuff, or tell me about Plexus. You can just simply say Plexus is a health and wellness company with products to help with everything from gut health to weight loss, digestion issues, balancing blood sugar, anxiety, low energy, lack of sleep, pain, and more. The products are amazing and they are naturally based with no artificial colors or flavor. Okay, so that's a great explanation. Also, when somebody says, so tell me about becoming an ambassador, boom. You can find out nuts and bolts. If you need help getting the nitty gritty, you can get your uplines to help you with that. But you can easily respond backwards. You can easily cover the cost of your product by becoming an ambassador. Make a nice side income or even make a career out of it. The best thing is that you can work from home and you don't have to carry inventory and we are not party based. We are online based. So keeping it general and give people the opportunity to ask me more questions from that. You could follow up and say, what interests you the most about either one of these? What interests you the most? Or what caught your attention? Here are some things that the other people can be concerned about as well. When they are getting out there and getting started and posting on Facebook or other social media, sometimes people may have friends on their Facebook, maybe that they work with at their job, and maybe they just have some issues that they don't want their job to know they're also working Plexus. You can set up distribution lists in your Facebook account, and you can make your posts only go to those distribution lists. For instance, if you only wanted it to go to your non-Plexus people, all those people on Plexus that you're friending, if you didn't want it to go there, or if you wanted to, if you have a certain group of friends that have been oversaturated, that are already working with other people, you can kind of, you could set up a distribution without them. You can also just per post, you can block certain people from seeing individual posts. And when you set that up, those options are available before you hit post. You can choose and choose to block certain people from seeing those posts. So if you have a boss or whatever that you don't want seeing certain information, then you can block them from that. Pretty much, we all worry about annoying people with our posts, but I would say that about 95% of people that are on the team that we're on learned about Plexus through Facebook. And so when you remember that most likely you learned about Plexus from your friend posting on Facebook, or at least you learned a lot more information about it from posting on Facebook, and hopefully that'll help you bridge over and get over the annoying, knowing that that's how you learned about it. People can scroll right by. Set your pride aside. A lot of times we can feel funny about, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm asking my friends for money. Well, you're not. You're offering your friends better health and a better life. So we can definitely get over that, and definitely worth it. Cat pictures. Okay. This is kind of a running joke on Destination Diamond Dream Team. Celeste has always said that she just is not a cat person. Not a cat person at all, just doesn't like them, doesn't like to see pictures of people's cats or whatever. However, she can scroll right on by. And so this is one of those things where we see things all the time from other people, whether it's something political or a different point of view or whatever it may be that we're not necessarily crazy about. We can scroll by that, and the same with other people seeing our posts too. Okay? It's Facebook. It's social media. We're all sharing different things. We all come from different places, and that's the beauty of it. Don't feel weird about not knowing much when you get started, because you can learn along the way, and you can learn while you earn. Okay? And that is the best way to learn. You could say, oh, I need to study this before I start sharing information with people. No, because the best way to learn is when somebody does say, tell me about Plexus. Tell me about Probio 5, or I have lupus. Has anybody found any help with that? You're going to have to go find information to respond back to them and answer them, and that's how you're going to learn and build a knowledge base in your business. I want a strong testimony before I start sharing. This is most common. Everybody thinks that, well, I've got to know how it works for me. You know, of course, you need to be on the products, because you need to be a product of the product and share your experiences with others, but your journey is just starting. You don't have to be a success story. You can invite people to join you in on your new journey. We have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of testimonies showing all the different ways that our products work. So while you're waiting on them to work for you, because you know that they are, you can be sharing with other people and helping them get started, helping them get their health conditions helped through Plexus. You can also be sharing about things that you don't have. So maybe you've got thyroid issues, and that's something that you're really hoping that Plexus is going to help you with, along with maybe some other things. We'll share some other testimonies while you're seeing how that works for your thyroid, or you can even say, you know what, I started taking Plexus in hopes that it would help with my thyroid. And so I've really been digging around and seeing how it's helped others. And so you can share those testimonies. Be transparent with your audience and be relatable to them. Okay, so this is really important, and these are some things that I want to talk about for a couple of minutes that come up in everybody's journey sooner or later. So common. And this is working with prospects and customers and ambassadors. Okay, so we talk about how we are one Plexus. That's one of the things that I love about our company. And it's also something that we talked about at Super Saturday, is that we are not in competition with each other. We don't have territories We all help each other, whether we're going to get the sale or not, whether somebody's going to join our team or not. We all help each other. And part of how we do this, and part of how we have, Plexus etiquette is in how we work with our prospects. Okay, a lot of times you might be in overlapping networks with somebody. And that's probably pretty common because this is network marketing. It's you know somebody who knows somebody else, and you're probably going to have some overlapping friend bases because you're friends yourself. And so many times you might have somebody that's a customer of somebody else who may come to you for additional information or help, or say, oh, I tried this a while back, but I want to be a customer under you. And what we want to be careful and be very clear on is that we can help them and answer their questions and add an extra layer of support to them, but we want to send them back to their ambassador. That's how we do things. We want to send them back to their ambassador always. Okay? So things to make sure that you're asking, and especially if you might be in an overlapping network, is, oh, great, I'm so glad that you're interested in Plexus. Have you tried it before? See what their answer is. If they're like, oh, yeah, I love it, that means they've tried it before and have been a customer of somebody else, or somebody's given them a sample. So you need to dig in deeper and figure out, are they a current customer? Were they a customer in the past, or maybe a little bit? Were they been talking to somebody else and that person gave them a sample of the product? We want to refer them back to that ambassador, okay? The trump on that is always family. For instance, if somebody, is your sister and wanted to be a customer under you, then that relationship is gonna trump maybe another acquaintance or friend they might have had. So those situations, of course, are understandable. Sometimes people might not be getting the support that they need, and might want to switch to you. So you need to dig deeper on that. Encourage them to go back to that person. If they keep saying, no, I want to work with you because of X, Y, Z, then I put the burden on them that they have to call customer service to get switched. They have to do that. And I ask them to let that ambassador know, because that's the right thing to do. They need to let that ambassador know and why. Okay, but we always want to send people back. Okay, and we can help be a village. That's part of the One Plexus, is people are in different places on their journey. So maybe the ambassador they're under is still newer and not quite as up to speed. Whatever the reason is, we want to refer people back because that's what we want people to do for us. If somebody comes across and starts talking to one of our customers, we can only hope that they would help them answer their questions, because it's a topic of conversation. Oh, you do Plexus too? Oh yeah, I'm doing it. Oh, I had a question about the Probio 5. It's natural. People do that. And they don't always understand how it works from a business standpoint. So we just need to make sure that we are being the most professional at what we do and referring them back and being part of that good village that helps all of ambassadors, whether they are on our team or not. The same is going to be for prospective team members. We're going to do the same exact thing and send them back, okay? So always ask, hey, I'm so glad you're interested in Plexus. Have you ever tasted or tried it before? Great, and find out where they're coming from. Send them back to the person that they've been talking to or the person that they've been purchasing from. Stacking, let's talk about this. Stacking, what that means is, let's say I sign up Susie Q, okay? I sign up Susie Q and we each have a friend, Sally Mae. And Sally Mae, I've been talking to Sally Mae for 6 months, and then Susie Q signed up. She's also friends with Sally Mae, and so it's a favor to Susie Q. When Sally Mae signs up, I put her under Susie to help her get started. That's called stacking, and that's not what you want to do. And you may, and sometimes people will say, oh, sign up under me because it helps me and it helps the person I'm under. And that is true a little bit, but having a level 1 is always better than having a level 2, okay, for reasons of the compensation plan. And plus, if that is the if that person has been talking to you about joining, then you want to have them, that means they want to be with you. They want to be trained by you. They want to be on your team and be your level one. So you need to sign them up under you. Okay? That is fair to them and fair to you. Okay? So what you don't want to make sure is that you end up stacking people and then it gets so deep that it really dilutes the pay points and the growth on your team. Okay? Just out of wanting to help somebody out and things like that. And of course, there are some exceptions to that. So if you're ever unsure, then definitely reach out to your upline and we can talk about that because it does come up for real. Okay, so really what I want to do here is we've got about 5 minutes left and I really want to open it up to some of the questions that you may have. We've kind of gone through, and this is still a lot of introductory information, but even if you're a more seasoned ambassador, and Josh is giving me the weird, creepy smile. Thanks, Josh. He likes to see if I was paying attention. But this is good information. As you go along, you may go, oh yeah, I've learned that, or I know that, but there's always something new. And as you think about it in terms of training your team, you want to be able to have those training conversations with them as well. So basic foundational information is always good to revisit and relearn in different parts of your journey. So I really want to open it up to see if you guys have any questions about any of the stuff that I've kind of run through tonight, or maybe even some other questions that might relate to it. We've got a few minutes here, so I definitely want to make that available to you. When I do this type of training live, it's a little bit more interactive because people are able to kind of shout out questions. So it's harder on Zoom. Yeah, Tina?
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's more towards, like, since we do so many Zoom calls nowadays, is there any, like, I feel guilty sometimes when I want to come on late, or I can be there on time, but I might have to sign off 15 minutes early. Is there anything, like, I don't want the speaker or the person in charge of the meeting to think anything bad, but is it okay if you don't have the full time to jump on when you can for things like this, or is that kind of looked at as being rude?
No, I think that's totally fine. I think people being able, some people may only have, this is a longer one. Most of the time our Monday Night Lives are 30 minutes. These on the 101, 102 trainings are hour long. But yeah, it's what can you give? And if you've got something, I mean, some people even may just need to be listening while they're doing something else. So they may be, there's a feature on the Zoom where you can stop the video, but you can leave it running. So it just shows either the outline, and you'll see them on here, the outline or the still photo, not live video. So people have turned that live video off on their Zoom, but they're still plugged in. But yeah, absolutely. That's never, we don't judge on that. Because
okay, so if I hit stop video, it would actually pull like a, cool. Okay, yeah. I didn't do that. Thank you.
Yeah, and so it just shows the generic person outline unless you actually go into your Zoom account and upload a photo. For instance, let me show you. That's my still photo. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what it looks like when I turn the video off. When I say stop video, it'll just show my photo because that's the photo that I have uploaded. So okay. Some people will just turn their camera up to the ceiling too. You can do that too. So there's different ways. But yeah, I mean, if you can only, attend, if you have to come in late or whatever, we are always so excited when people jump on, even if they can only stay for a part of it. We hope that that's helpful to them and, information. So yeah, no worries at all.
Okay.
Anyone else have a question about anything? Well, not anything, but, I might want to be clearer on that. Jennifer May looks like she has a burning question. It's good to see everyone. Oh, I see. That's why I love Zoom, is because I get to see, you guys and faces. I'm doing a screen print right here, so at least for everybody that was on. Okay. Nobody has any questions at all on helping your team members with some of this information, or Plexus etiquette, or
Carolyn, I'll ask. Sorry, Caroline. Because it came up in the chat while you were talking about compliance.
Okay.
And
y'all have a chat going. Oh, I missed out on that.
well, it's when you were talking about being able to name the condition, name the disease, candida or migraine or, whatever. And the question came up whether or not we can still do that if it, I guess the question would be, can we still do that if we are stating a disclaimer in there as well? And or if perhaps it's in quotes as a testimony from someone personal.
Yeah, the testimony thing is different altogether, and we are going to be getting some more guidance and guidelines on that very soon. We have a new executive at corporate that is over compliance, and so and of course, we hate rules, and it's like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, whatever. But rules are good because they protect us and our business and our company. And we have a brand new VP, whatever he's called, of compliance now. And I've been hearing some chatter that we're going to start getting some more information and guidance here soon. So I'm excited about that because I know it's some of those things that are confusing and we just want to know what we can do. So on testimonies, I really don't worry about it so much on sharing those, because if that person's stating that, I would say though, if you were giving your own testimony, just be careful in how you word it. Just be careful in how you word it and talk about that. Maybe just talk about some of your symptoms versus the actual disease name. I mean, there's different ways to do it. And then the first part of your question, sorry, was talking about a regular post with a condition name in it.
Whether or not if the condition is named, if you put a disclaimer on there, the Plexus disclaimer, Plexus does not, cure or whatever I don't know the wording off the top of my head.
I would still say no, because we do have easy workarounds for that. We can say headaches instead of migraines. We can say blood sugar issues instead of diabetes. I was trying to think of the low blood one. So there's different ways that we can work around that and still talk about the ways that our products can help without saying the product names and Plexus combined with the condition.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you. Good question. Anyone else? Awesome. Well, I really encourage you guys, and I am going to upload these presentations in the files. I'll make sure I do that this week. Man, it's been a busy couple of weeks, the first part of this year, just getting going on stuff. So I've got a list of things that I intend to do and need to do that keep falling down. So I am going to upload this presentation as well as last week's on 101 to the files, because you guys can take that and use that. The reason why I want you guys, even seasoned ambassadors, on these calls that are the basics, is I want you learning so you can turn right around and teach it to your team and you can duplicate it. The material that I use is stuff that I've developed, but it has been taken from other people's presentations. So I've gotten, Amber Volbada or Rosalind Payne, or two people's presentations that I can think of where I could see a framework and I could see some of the things that they would go over, and I took it and used it for my own. That's what you guys can do. Take it, put your name on it, tweak a couple things for you if you want, or take out some slides, add some slides, use it for your own when you're training your team. That's what it's there for. So, hope that helps. Oh, Joshua. Yes, Joshua.
Hey, don't forget, I'm training on how to upload these recorded Zoom calls to your YouTube channels tomorrow. So,
sweet. You can use my Zooms to do it, and you can upload them for me.
Yes, maybe. So if you don't have the invite, it's on the Freedom Finders page.
Okay. So that's for any of you guys that have been doing Zooms or have done any Zooms and you record and then you're like, how do I get this recording out? So you want a link that you can post that people can click on, and it's a little bit tricky in Zoom to get it, and it takes forever. And Josh has found a better way. And
also to be able to pull YouTube videos into your hard drive so that when you guys are doing presentations, you don't have to rely on Wi-Fi. The same program does both.
That's huge. So like when you do an opportunity event and let's say you want to show the product video, maybe not, or maybe you want to show the compensation plan video, that awesome brand new one that just came out, instead of having to go through it and talk about the basics yourself, you could just show that video. The trick is some issues, and maybe you're in a place that doesn't have Wi-Fi, and so you don't have to go into YouTube and connect and all that stuff. You can download it. He's got the way that you can download it into a hard file. That way you can just have it open and click on it to play. So that is an invaluable tool. If you have run a meeting yourself trying to use a video, it probably was frustrating for you trying to figure out how to do that. So awesome. So he'll be doing that tomorrow night. Yeah, Josh, if you would just find that post and bump it back up on the Freedom Finders, and that way you guys can see it, because I have a feeling with all the activities in the past week that it's way down there. We'll never find it. So, okay. All right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Elena real quick.
Hello.
Hi, what time is Josh doing that tomorrow?
I don't know. What time is he? He doesn't know either. Probably.
Oh, okay.
I want to say 7:30 Central, but let me check. And I will record it and
Okay.
put it out.
Great. I was trying to figure out if I was going to be able to make it. I see it, Casey. Thank you.
Nice.
What'd she say?
I think she said the crow
7?
flies at 7.
It's backwards. What? Okay. All right.
7 Central on my calendar.
Okay. She's organized. I love it. I got to tell you guys that the end of the year hit so fast that I still hadn't decided what I was going to use for my 2016 calendar. And so I still have not ordered a 2016 calendar. And I got to do that because I'm running out of sticky notes. So reminders are good. Reminders are good. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're a few minutes past here, so thank you all for being on tonight. I appreciate it. I hope it's helpful for you, and I also hope it's helpful for you in training your newer team members. So we will get these things uploaded onto the Freedom Finders page this week. So if you don't see it Friday, somebody bug me, and we'll get it out there so that you've got some resources to use however you need to use them. Okay? All right. Y'all have a fabulous night. And all right. See you later. All right. Bye, y'all.